I want to talk Ohio State because they are taking on a pretty big team in week one, the number one Texas Longhorns. But what I want to talk to you about is the fact that they're ranked third behind Texas at 1, Penn State at 2, Ohio State is coming in at 3. I want to hear your thoughts, but first of all, I'm a little speechless if I'm being honest. And as you know me, that doesn't happen often for a guy that's hosting a sports show with you. Let me start with Texas. First of all, let me start with this. New rule. I'm the commissioner here. New rule. The team that won the national championship is ranked number 1 to start the season next year.
So I'm going to cut you off already
Period.
because you're going to start doing this Ohio State thing that I can't stand.
Okay, as the biggest Browns guy that does this, but go on. You're not
Okay,
a real
but
Buckeye fan, but go on.
I'm a Buckeye fan. It's not my
You might as
number
well
one
move up to
team.
Michigan.
Okay, you're just being
Go on,
salty
though.
now because you're wrong. You're wrong because half the
This
team
is an
left.
opinion take.
Half the team left. Of course they fell down.
I don't care if
They're
the whole
still
fucking
third,
team
Erik.
left. If you win a national championship, I'm not
It's
saying
not
for
the
Ohio
same
State.
team.
I don't care who it is. If you win a national championship, you're ranked 1. Guess what? They play a pretty damn good team in Texas on week 1. If they lose, week 2, they're not number 1 anymore. It's pretty simple.
I disagree because there's a whole new world compared to what it used to look like with money, with how much money is being invested in these rosters in college football.
Including Ohio State.
Not compared to Penn State and Texas this year.
Have you, first of all, do you believe in Vegas?
Do I believe
Because
in Vegas?
Ohio State has opened up as the favorites with the Vegas betting line.
That's fantastic. It doesn't do anything for me, though. I understand the logic for the AP poll to have Texas number 1, Penn State number 2. They've gone all in for this season, just as Ohio State went all in for last season.
Let me start with Texas first. You have a kid, Arch Manning, who is so lauded before doing anything. He started 2 games for Texas. I'm not saying the kid's not good at all. He is a Manning that's had private coaching his entire life. But we haven't seen him under pressure from a linebacker from Mid-Ohio coming after his ass. We just haven't seen that yet. What have they done to prove that they should be number 1?
Well, I mean, first of all, they were a playoff team. It's also the additions to the roster. You're talking about Arch Manning, the most hyped up prospect since
Who's
Andrew
the best
Luck.
player in college football?
The best player in college football right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue as an Ohio State fan, Jeremiah Smith.
Exactly. We have the best player on our team. Go on, though.
You're talking wide receiver, though. There's only so much. Anyway, I understand why we're ranked this way. I understand why Buckeye fans are a little upset about it, considering we won a national championship.
I love it, but go on.
But there's so many other factors in play here. We didn't beat Michigan last year. We were 10-2, I believe, during the regular season. It makes sense to me why we're ranked here. And you're so upset about the preseason number. If they beat Texas, you seem pretty upset,
It's the
Erik.
principle of it. I actually love when we're ranked lower because I think we have a chip on our shoulder. But it's the principle. They should be ranked higher, but go on.
So, I mean, I agree. If they beat Texas in week 1, the odds are they jump up to 1, maybe 2, and they put Penn State at 1.
No.
And then we're doing the same thing anyway. We don't even know who the quarterback is yet. Have you been paying attention to that battle at all?
I have. It was interesting because Day characterized it as the battle between so we're talking about Lincoln and
Keinholz and Julian Sayin, yeah.
Yeah, Sayin. And he categorized it as the same battle between Joe Burrow and what's
Dwayne
his name?
Haskins.
Haskins, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Which is interesting because those were 2 quarterbacks, hell of a talent. I hope it's Sayin personally. And I will say I have a little bit of negative feeling towards Lincoln just from that, was it not Rose Bowl, whatever that bowl was, where it wasn't his fault at all, don't get me wrong. But either way, I think we'll be pretty okay at quarterback. When you have Jeremiah Smith, by the way, you have a guy where you throw it down there. He's down there somewhere. It's fine.
You have a fantastic receiving core. I'll go to the receiving core in a second. I'll use that as my transition and then kick it back to you. But between Sand and Keinholz, I lean towards Sand because of honestly the hype a little bit. He was
Agreed.
from Alabama, elite 5-star. Keinholz has also been here a little bit longer though. He has that veteran aura to him, so I get the competition being close. It's going down on the wire. Ryan Day said he's hoping to name a starter next week. So maybe that'll be a talking point on either our Monday or our Wednesday show for what's going on, because we finally have a Buckeye starter that we can rally behind. You're totally right, though. When you have a receiver like Carnell Tate, like really Jeremiah Smith, I'm just naming off the receiving room, it gets pretty easy to be the quarterback sometimes. And I think that's a
Hmm.
knock on a lot of Ohio State quarterbacks going into the NFL. But in terms of us as Buckeye fans and not worried about what happens to them after, unless they're wearing brown and orange, I'm okay with it, man. I think both of these kids have a real shot to shine no matter what. There's been some awesome wide receivers stepping up into bigger roles at camp and are looking good. So we might have a third that could turn into a two once Tate goes to the draft next year. I'm really excited to see what happens with the Buckeyes, especially going into that week. Technically, it's week 0, right? The Texas
Uh,
game,
are they?
because
Do
it's
they call it week 0?
they do in the video games.
No, I don't think so. I think that's week 1.
Anyway, regardless, the early matchup against Texas.
Um, you forgot something, by the way. Who's the number 2 player in the country?
Oh,
Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs. My mind went blank. I kept wanting to say Julian Sayin, but a safety for some reason. Anyway,
Right. My point is, you have the best player on offense in the country. You have the best player on defense in the country, and you have pedigree. This is what's most important. Despite roster turnover, I think they brought back like 5. What is it? 5 on offense, something like that. It wasn't a ton, right?
yeah.
My point is, you have pedigree. You have guys on the team, whether it's 5, 10, 1, that have won a national championship. Not just won a national championship, but knows what it takes to go within that expanded playoff and have to win back to back to back to back games. You have that now. You know who doesn't have that? Texas. You know who doesn't have that? Penn State. Oh, by the way, you know what else they don't have? Coaches that have won one. I'm not saying these aren't good programs. Not at all. But you have a guy at Penn State who's a fraud. He's a bald fraud. I'll stand on that till the day I die. James Franklin should win more football games. And I can't wait to hear the excuses at the podium when he loses twice in the regular season and loses again in the playoffs. The interesting thing is the regular season's less important now because almost everybody gets in. You have 2 losses to Ohio State and USC, just as an example, or Ohio State and Oregon. I forget what their schedule looks like. That's okay now, and you can still make the playoff. Obviously, Ohio State did it last year. But until he wins a big game, he'll always be a mediocre coach.
So I'm glad you like Ohio State, Eric, and I'm with you. I like Ohio State too, but I hate going down that path of pedigree and this, that, and the third. This team is not proven again.
You are
There's
such a
no
hypocrite.
why.
Who's the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Mike Tomlin.
And you think he's terrible, but you back Penn State's coach?
I never said I was backing Penn State's coach.
I saw your
did not-
faces as I was saying James Franklin's a fraud.
because I've heard you do the James Franklin rant
It's
14
true.
different times. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean it can't be the year, just like it could be the year that Ryan Day finally decides to put, and win and beat Michigan, dude. Like
Oh, that's happening.
well, of course you think that, because that's what we do as Ohio State fans, is we just think we're tough shit. And then if we end up losing games this year, we're gonna act like, oh, it was just a fluke. It just
How do
frustrates
you
me.
think they're going to finish?
How do I think they're going to finish? I think it's debatable right now.
Because
Uh,
I'm not saying that we're gonna win a national championship. I've never said that. In fact, I've
I've
gone on
heard you say
record.
that before.
No, I've gone on record as saying that I think it's very unlikely that in this expanded era that a team will go back to back. I don't think that's likely at all anymore. And I followed that up with a jokingly, but Ohio State will be the team to do it. But I think it's very tough nowadays to do that. But where do you think this team ends? I mean, their ceiling is still national championship in my mind.
And their floor could be 9-3, 8-4. We don't know
No
what's going on.
chance.
You don't think so, Eric?
When's the
The
last
Big
time
Ten
they've
is
lost 4 games, Noah?
you don't we don't know
No, no,
who the
no, 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 no,
quarterback
no. No,
is.
no, 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 no. You say that pedigree doesn't matter, but tell me the last time Ohio State lost 4 games. It was Luke Fickell in the year after Tressel was fired. That doesn't count. That's the
Fair.
only time before Tressel that the Buckeyes have lost 4 games. That's not going to happen.
I don't want to sit on here and act like I'm being a hater. I just want
You sound like
I
one.
it's because I can't stand it sounds like we're Steelers fans and we're on our high horse when we talk about Ohio State like that. I already played that comment by the way.
I Barry. Well, I didn't.
I just hate being on our high horse. Like, let's just be a little humble. Let's see what happens with this quarterback competition before we start screaming national championship. We're going to beat Michigan. We should be number one. Blah, 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 blah. Just take
Noah,
a break.
your Cleveland is oozing out.
That's fine.
We are perpetual losers in this city, and we have that mentality, minus the Cavs. Thank you, LeBron. And it's showing here. You can be proud and
No,
think your team's going to win. It's not a Pittsburgh thing, who, by the way, have the most Super Bowls in history. I'm
not the
not a
most
Steelers fan.
championships, though.
Did the Patriots surpass them?
Nope, the Browns did when they enacted all the
Okay.
AAF.
Okay, fair
um,
enough. Go Brownies. You get my point, though. There's a reason that people are excited for the Buckeyes. And I think you're viewing it as a Browns fan. You need to set that aside and view it through the lens of a Buckeye fan.
it
If
doesn't
anything,
do
we have
anything for me,
underachieved
though.
in the last 10 years.
Right. So that should maybe humble you a little bit instead of saying
And
we
we
should be
still
ranked
have
number
2
one preseason.
natties. Do you know how
Okay.
many Texas has in that time period? 0. Do you know how many Penn State has in that time period? 0.
That's great, man. So Cleveland has a ring in the last 10 years. Well, yeah, 10 years still. That
Barely, yeah.
doesn't yeah, it doesn't matter. Like the things change. All I'm saying is I'm tempering my own expectations. I hope we don't do the thing where we're just on our high horse. I know we are, but that's what makes Ohio State fans to me insufferable. And I hate being grouped into that larger bubble of let's not let's temper our expectations a little bit before we just
But
go.
there's a standard. And we've talked about it before when it was me, you, and John. The standard every year is beat Michigan, number one. Obviously, we need to get back to doing that, but that's number one. Compete for a Big Ten championship and compete for a national championship. That is the standard. Anything less than that is a failure. So, yeah, we have high expectations, as we should. Like, I don't get where you think we shouldn't have those high expectations because
We just won a
although
national
lofty,
championship. We lost so many players, Eric, to think that this year, this season, is the back-to-back season. I hope I'm proven wrong.
who's the last
But
back to back? LSU?
I
They
I
lost Joe
think so.
Burrow and they won again. Is that right? That doesn't sound right in my head, but
No.
Joe didn't win
Last
two.
national. No, he didn't. He won the one and then went college football national championship history. Georgia in 22-21.
Georgia, that's right. Georgia. Based on defense with them, obviously. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen. I think we're going to know really soon, week 1, what this team's about, what Texas is about, frankly. My point here is we kind of got off on a tangent on Ohio State football. My point, I'm not talking Ohio State. This is not the homer take. I'm saying anybody who won a national championship, in my opinion, the next year in the first poll should be number 1. If they lose immediately, drop them to 25. I don't care, but they won the Natty. Put
See,
them
I
at one.
disagree because it's AP and there's perspective and what's going on involved. If you lose 22 out of your 22 starters after winning a national championship, you shouldn't be ranked number one to start the new season. That's where we just differ in opinions, I guess.
What was I'm curious, the AP poll last year, 2024. Let's see. You had Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2, Oregon at 3, Texas at 4. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right. That sounds right, just from what I remember.
Um, yeah,
Georgia, Ohio
listen,
State, Oregon. Yep, yep, yep.
I'll say that I agree with you in that for the most part the poll, it's semantics at a certain point that I think Ohio State or any team that wins a natty should be ranked number 1 to start the season. The team that's most interesting in the top 10 to me though, well, I want to hear your take first. Who do you think's most interesting in that
Oh,
top
I
10?
I gotta re-pull it back up real quick now because I
So
of
I'll
course
I'll
pulled
give you
the
Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Miami.
Miami just because it's ACC and they lost Cam Ward. So that would be my first knee jerk. What's yours?
For me, it's Clemson uh, because I think they're actually dead on with that team. I think Clemson's going to be a very good football team again this year. I hate to say it. These are not my words. These are my dad's words. Dabo's a douche. But he is a very good coach, and I think they'll be a very good coached football team. Sorry, Maddie, who is a Clemson alumni. That's family. But I think that I think they'll surprise a lot of people. They're in there at 4, and I think people initially said that's crazy, Clemson at 4, considering how last couple seasons have gone. But they've got some good recruits in there, man, and I think they're going to surprise some people.
No, that's why I was thinking of it in the negative light, like someone who shouldn't be up there. But logically, with the recruiting and just thinking of, I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite now, but because they are a blue chip esque program, they are thought of highly. Hearing
Yeah.
them in the top 10 doesn't make me scratch my head as much as a Miami does in current day and age. I know they used to be such a powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call them a blue chip, but yes, they obviously they beat us twice.
Upper echelon, maybe blue chip it is like the cream of the cream of the cream of the crop. So,
Blue
but you
chip
get what I'm
is
saying.
is like 4 teams. It's Ohio State, it's probably the team up north, it's Texas, it's Notre Dame, and it's USC. I think those are the blue chip programs in the country. Alabama, I forgot
Alabama.
them.
Well, yeah, give or take
Maybe
now.
Georgia.
Yeah, I would put Georgia above USC, honestly, but that's another debate for another day, probably.
All right. I do want to move us on. I will say I am really excited about week 1. I'll be in the Outer Banks for that game. We're leaving early to make sure we're there to watch it somewhere good with sound, etc. And we're doing a show still that week because, sorry, Dylan Northrup's Hey Guys has been up for about 5 minutes. Um,
It wasn't
we're,
showing on my end, my bad.
Weird. No, you're good. We're doing a show that week because I want to talk reaction no matter which way it goes in week 1. Either I'm going to say, okay, maybe we should have been ranked 3rd, or I'm going to say, Noah, eat shit. I was right. We should be number 1, and we're going to be next week. Time will tell, but I am excited and nervous for that game.
For sure, me too. I am excited. I'm just excited football is back, man. I'm ready to see what happens
Yeah.
with the Brownies. I'm ready to see what happens with the Buckeyes. I'm ready to go to some high school games with you this season. I'm just ready for football. I miss it like I can't even think of an analogy right now.
I know I was putting together content ideas in a shared note for Noah and I about what we'll be doing moving forward, show wise, and getting other content. And it's so revolved around football. Occasional Friday Night Lights game of the week that you and I are going to attend and make content for. Occasional shows from Unilot where going around. We're doing a live show to pregame the game, but then going around and grabbing content and doing some giveaways. Be tuned for that, or stay tuned for that. And then a Monday show breaking down how the Browns and Buckeyes did, going down to a Buckeye game. Everything that we kind of have planned out revolves around football, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm all here for it. I can't wait. Football is the bread and butter, the cream of the crop to me. So I'm ready for the September to February season because it is my favorite time of the year.